Hello, I'm Sammy of the Guild Clarity on Jade and REU, and this is my Reforgelite guide. So, as you can see, I click the Reforger and up pops the Reforgelite window. This is an add-on that makes reforging a lot quicker and a lot easier to do when, like me, you're reforging for various different fights like Spine Heroic and everything else. And you need to hearth out and reforge and get someone back quickly. It allows you to set up custom profiles for different things so that they are done very quickly. So I'll run you through how to set up a profile as quickly as possible. Right, so up here we have our stat priorities. So stat weights, so you should all know what they are. You can grab them from any website like Elitist Jerks, or if, like me, you do them a bit more in depth, you can simcraft yourself to work out what the best stat weights are for your current gear. So I'm just going to drag these ones from Elitist Jerks, just for this example. So, an Elitist Jerks tells me that as an unholy DK, my stat weights are as follows. So, hit I want 3.9. So, as this add-on doesn't like decimal points, so you just put it as a number rather than a decimal. Then crit I want 2.11, haste I want 2.5, mastery 2.19, and expertise 143, because obviously I don't give a shit about expertise. Okay, then these next two boxes with drop-down boxes, these allow you to set sort of breakpoints and caps. So if you're a class that has a haste cap to get an extra tick on a dot, or on a wild growth, for example, you want to use this. So as a melee class, obviously, as well, you use this to set your hit. And it has the preset various different caps, or you can set it yourself with whatever value you want. But obviously, as a melee, I just set it as melee hit cap, which is 961. And then the add-on takes this as this stat priority here up to that rating of 961. And then this number after is weight after cap, which means, so for example, as a rogue or a frost DK, hit is still useful after the cap because it means that your offhand will still hit, so it's still extra damage. So there might be a stat prio for extra hit, but obviously as unholy, I don't have any need for any extra hit, so my stat weight for extra hit is 0. Then afterwards, if I wanted to set a haste breakpoint, I would do it as follows. So I'd select haste, then you want it at least, and then I would manually set a haste rating value that I wanted. For example, if I set this as 1500 haste, then as for hit, that takes this stat weight up to 1500 haste. And then if I set a weight after cap as 190, then basically the thread that the Reforgelite is going to follow is it's going to want hit up to the cap as the first priority, followed by haste up to this cap value of 1500. Then after that, it's going to then take mastery and then crit, and then if there's any haste left over, it's going to want those after mastery and crit. So once I've set all my stat values and all my breakpoints, I then need to press save. It'll ask me for a name. I'll just call that test. And then to find that again, it's in custom, which this isn't in any alphabetical order. I don't know what kind of order this is in, but as you can see, Druid is all the way down there, so it's no alphabetical order. Custom's towards the bottom, and then test, you see, is the one I just made, along with all the other ones that I use. Then, so I have the right stat weight, the right preset selected. That's always important to make sure you have the right one selected, so you don't turn up to the raid with a totally wrong reforging. Then I'll just scroll down here, and then you see this little box tells me what it's going to do. So I'll press calculate now. Make sure you only press calculate once, because the first time you press calculate, it will pick the optimal reforge pattern. If you press it again, it will pick the second optimal reforge pattern. So someone in my guild today said he didn't get Reforgelite because it comes up with something different every time he presses calculate. That's because it cycles through and picks a slightly less optimal reforge every time. I'm not really sure why you would want to do that. Possibly if you didn't want to reforge a certain item in a certain way. So anyway, I've pressed calculate. Now this box tells me that this reforging that I'm about to do is going to lose me a bit of crit, lose me a bit of haste, well, quite a lot of haste, and add some mastery. Obviously this reforge is absolute bullshit because I've added an arbitrary cap just to show how that works. Then I press show, which brings up this window here, and you see it tells me what it's doing on each item, and then there's a box. If the box is ticked, then it means that that item is already reforged as it wants to be reforged. So then it also tells me how much I'm going to spend doing this, and then I press reforge, and it cycles through and does them all, adding the ticks as it does them. And then you can see it happening up in this here as well. This is just basically an expanded version of this table. It tells me what every item is reforging to. So obviously the red value is what it's reforging out of, and the green value is what it's reforging into. So you can see what's being reforged out of and into all across. And that's it. They're all ticked. They're all done. My reforging is done. So now to reforge back to what I actually want to be reforged to, I'll select Unholy 4.3 with my stat weights, press calculate. I'll need to close that and press show again so it gives the new one, the one that I actually want. Press reforge, and it does it all, and that's me sorted and ready for my raid on Wednesday. If you have any further questions, just post in the thread or in the comments of this video, and thanks for watching.